beneath the elite, the pinnacle, them sorts of clubs. And I think if he's got the opportunity to go there, I think it's a real clever sign.
Do you know, you make a great point, but also, like, as Jules was saying, like, Unai Emery's an elite manager.
100%.
You know what I mean? There'll be people around Europe who not only be excited about going to Villa, but going to Villa to play under this guy.
Yeah.
Because I think Villa's story this year as well has been one where they've not spent that much money. You know, I think in their first window, they were probably third or fourth lowest spenders in the whole league. And now this is the year when they're starting their title run. You know what I mean? It's been incredible, and you got to give Unai Emery a ton of credit for it.
Tammy Abraham is 28, by the way. Still plenty. He hasn't. You know, Wenger used to say that strikers 28 to 32. That's when they peak. He hasn't even peaked probably.
Double figures last season for Milan. Double figures this season for Besiktas.
I've always said Milan, by the way, because you're on.
Nah, listen.
You wouldn't have said it like that, would he?
You know what I mean? I'm listening to you. I'm on to you.
Definitely would have done.
This is the Spenny Moore guy.
I know. We know you now.
Spenny Moore is just as important as Milan, so you got to get them both right. Let's just have a word on Jack Grealish here before we move on. We'll do loads of Everton close to kick off clearly, but let me read the David Moyes quotes from when he got sent off against Wolves. This is him talking this week because he's available again. He said, "I didn't look for an apology. I just told him what I thought of him. That was it, really. Probably the words that I said were strong enough that we didn't really need to say anything else. He certainly let us down. We told him that after the game. He was told by the players inside the dressing room as well. It can happen. You can get sent off for not much, but I thought he was stupid to applaud the referee, and he basically got a second yellow for kind of like sarcastically clapping after he got that decision. Obviously, it's even more pertinent because it's back against Villa today, where he obviously made his name. Where do you think his career is right now? Is he a really important point in his career? He's already done loads, but maybe not as much yet as his amazing talent could do. I don't know if that's fair or not.
No, I know exactly what you're saying. I think I agree with you. I think we've all expected him over the last few years, especially since the City moved, to really go and grab that next step. Yeah. So what that next step is to be one of the elite, to be one of the world's best, to be that. And I don't think he's hit them standards. That's the God's honest truth. I'm really good friends with him. He's an outstanding footballer, and I don't want to speak out of turn here, but I think looking at him now for Everton, I think he scored 2 goals this season. I think it is. I think he's got 6 assists, and I think we just want more. And I don't want to get to that point. And I know he's in his 30s now, Jack, and I feel like we're all getting to that point where it's a little bit of, we just want more. You just want him to really fulfil what we all expected of him, maybe when he went to the Euros in 2020 or at the World Cup and different things like this. And we just feel like he's missing out on that a little bit. Do you know what I'm saying? I don't mean to. So he's an incredible footballer, and he's a fantastic footballer to watch. I went to the game that we're talking about there, where he got sent off, and it was a real sloppy thing to do. It was just not needed, everything about it. And I can imagine what David Moyes said to him. And I've been in that dressing room, the Everton dressing room, and I can imagine they'd have given him a bit after, by the way. So I know exactly what he'll be saying. But yeah, I just feel like we're at that position now where we all just wanted that little bit more, didn't we, when it came to him?
Yeah, and I think it's actually important for people to hear that, Jules, because when you read what David Moyes had to say, maybe that just tells you that you should stop sarcastically clapping me when I ask a good question.
Yeah, that's a yellow from producer Chris.
It's really starting to upset
There's 2 things here for me. So it was very disappointing from somebody like Jack as well, who's been in the game for a long time, to do something like that, and to the detriment of his own team. He started so well, right? When he broke onto that Everton team. Remember, we were at the opening of the new stadium.
Yeah, opening game, he makes the goal, doesn't he?
Yeah, outstanding. I think he got Player of the Month in August or September or something like that. All those chances he created, and I don't want to be too harsh on Beto and Thierry Barry, who's French as well, but not from Paris. But I think there's a point where you create and create and create, and then the goals don't come for you and for your team. Maybe because the number 9s are just not at the level that you expected them to be or wanted, if it's not Haaland, basically, or, you know. And the thing is, because Jack didn't play much last year, I think there's a point where physically you probably start and do well, but there's a moment inevitably where you're going to dip. Because physically, you're not used to being playing at that kind of intensity week in and week out. Plus the frustration that what you create and how good you are. And it's the same for Iliman Ndiaye, it's the same for Jules Barrow, I guess. It's not capitalized by your team because your number 9s are maybe not at the level that they should be.
Yep.
And I think from a Jack's point of view, I think at some point you probably got frustrated more than you should have been by your own form and the fact that you could not keep that sharpness physically, because you haven't played before for so long that you struggle maybe to repeat all those efforts. Plus the good things that you did, you were not rewarded for them, and then that led to this. And I think for Everton and for his own season, he needs to very quickly get back to the level that he showed in August and September.
Yeah, so I just did a quick Google anyway, and with Jack, like, he is 30 years old, and it's interesting now this next stage for him, because it's very easy to forget sometimes that he's on loan from Man City and he has another year left on that deal. But to describe how this season goes for him, Everton have the chance potentially to buy him in the summer for £50 million. If he doesn't hit that mark, then that next year for Jack Grealish is going to be one of the toughest years of his career, trying to justify somebody investing into him as somebody who will be 31 in the next season, having not played any real significant top quality football for probably 3-4 years now.
Nader Manua, Julian Laurent, Conor Cody, all with us on Premier League Sunday. Team news on the way very shortly from Molineux. Full commentary at 2 o'clock of Wolves versus Newcastle, and then that game at 4:30, Aston Villa versus Everton. There's a big game for Bristol Bears in the Champions Cup rugby today, looking to finish the pool stages top of their group and be one of the highest seeds in the competition. But they've got the defending champions, Bordeaux. Kick-off at 1 o'clock. Adam Whitty's at Ashton Gate.
Steve, not many would have had this as a top of the table decider when this tournament began a month